Imagine a world where a female warrior led armies and earned the respect of battle-hardened samurai. This was the world of Tomoe Gozen, whose exceptional combat skills challenged societal norms in feudal Japan. In this video, we'll transport you to a time of legends and uncover the true story of an unlikely hero. From her mysterious origins to her final stand, you'll experience the life of Tomoe Gozen as never before. We'll examine historical evidence to separate fact from myth, revealing secrets of her remarkable journey. Discover how this enigmatic figure rose to prominence in a male-dominated world and why her legacy continues to inspire millions to this day. The origins of Tomoe Gozen remain shrouded in mystery, presenting a significant challenge to historians attempting to reconstruct her early life. The scarcity of reliable historical records on women in 12th century Japan, particularly those not born into the highest nobility, has left us with fragmentary and often conflicting information about her birth and lineage. Some accounts suggest she was born into a samurai family, while others propose noble connections to the Kiso clan. The societal norms of feudal Japan further complicate our understanding of Tomoe's formative years. The stratified social structure typically dictated a person's life trajectory, with young women in samurai households focusing on domestic skills and etiquette. However, Tomoe's later martial prowess suggests a significant departure from this conventional upbringing, raising intriguing questions about the unique circumstances that shaped her development as a warrior. Theories regarding Tomoe's family background and exceptional skills abound. One possibility is that she was raised in a household that valued martial arts and permitted women to engage in combat training. Alternatively, she may have been adopted into a samurai family, granting her opportunities uncommon for women of the era. The level of martial skill attributed to Tomoe far exceeds the typical self-defense training afforded to women in samurai families. Comparing Tomoe's alleged upbringing with that of male samurai further underscores the exceptional nature of her story. Young male samurai underwent rigorous training in martial arts, strategy, and leadership from an early age, mastering various weapons and engaging in actual combat. The fact that Tomoe is said to have achieved comparable, if not superior, skills suggests either extraordinary talent or an unconventional upbringing that allowed her to transcend the gender norms of her time. The cultural and political landscape of 12th century Japan provides crucial context for understanding Tomoe's potential rise to prominence. The period was marked by intense rivalries between powerful clans, frequent military conflicts, and shifting alliances. In this tumultuous environment, it is conceivable that a woman of exceptional ability could find opportunities to distinguish herself on the battlefield, regardless of her initial social standing. Based on the available evidence and historical context, the most plausible scenario of Tomoe's early years suggests a unique combination of circumstances. She was likely born into a samurai family or closely associated with one, possibly of minor nobility. Her upbringing may have been influenced by progressive-minded individuals who recognized and nurtured her martial talents. The political instability of the era may have created opportunities for Tomoe to develop and showcase her skills in ways that would have been impossible in more peaceful times. In the male-dominated world of feudal Japan, the rise of a female warrior to the ranks of elite samurai was an extraordinary phenomenon. The strict gender roles of the time typically confined women to domestic spheres, making Tomoe Gozen's ascent all the more remarkable. To understand how such an exceptional circumstance could occur, we must examine the complex interplay of societal norms, political upheaval, and individual merit that characterized the late Heian period. While the concept of onna-bugeisha, or female martial artists, existed in Japanese society, Tomoe Gozen's story transcended traditional boundaries. These women, often from samurai families, were trained in the art of war to defend their homes. But Tomoe's role as a prominent battlefield figure was unprecedented. Her journey challenged deeply ingrained societal expectations, likely causing internal conflict as she navigated between her martial prowess and the prescribed role of women in her time. The political landscape of 12th century Japan, marked by intense rivalries between powerful clans, created a unique environment where skill and loyalty were valued above traditional societal norms. This period of instability, known as the Genpei War, allowed individuals with exceptional abilities to rise through the ranks, regardless of their background. The constant need for capable warriors and strategists opened doors that would otherwise have remained closed to women in more peaceful times. Tomoe's relationship with Minamoto no Yoshinaka played a crucial role in her military career. Yoshinaka recognized Tomoe's exceptional abilities and elevated her to a position of prominence within his forces. This patronage was instrumental in overcoming the societal barriers that would typically have prevented a woman from attaining such a high rank in the military hierarchy. Historical accounts describe Tomoe as possessing exceptional strength, comparable to that of many male warriors. Her proficiency with the bow and sword, combined with her strategic acumen, made her a formidable opponent on the battlefield. These martial abilities were complemented by her leadership skills, allowing her to command troops effectively in the heat of battle. The nature of warfare during this period, emphasizing individual combat skills and small unit tactics, allowed Tomoe's personal abilities to shine. In a battlefield where individual prowess could turn the tide of battle, her exceptional skills made her an invaluable asset to her lord and a terror to her enemies. The cultural and religious landscape of the time may have also played a role in Tomoe's acceptance as a warrior. The influence of Buddhism and native Shinto beliefs sometimes allowed for more fluid gender roles than the later, more rigid Confucian-influenced society would permit. This relative flexibility, combined with the exigencies of war, created a narrow window of opportunity for exceptional women like Tomoe to break through traditional barriers. The Battle of Yokotagawara in 1181 marked a pivotal moment in the Genpei War, a conflict that would reshape the political landscape of feudal Japan. As the armies of the Minamoto and Taira clans converged on the plains of Yokotagawara, nestled in the mountainous Shinano province, the stage was set for a confrontation that would test the mettle of even the most seasoned warriors. Among the ranks of the Minamoto forces stood Tomoe Gozen, a figure whose presence on the battlefield would challenge convention and forever alter the perception of female warriors in Japanese history. Yokotagawara's strategic importance lay in its position along a crucial supply route. Control of this region would grant the victorious clan a significant advantage in the ongoing struggle for supremacy. The rugged terrain, with its steep ridges and narrow valleys, offered both defensive advantages and logistical challenges. As the opposing forces drew near, tension mounted among the Minamoto ranks. The presence of a female commander, regardless of her reputed abilities, was unprecedented in such a crucial engagement. Skepticism and curiosity mingled among the troops, with many wondering how Tomoe would fare when faced with the brutal realities of war. Tomoe's tactical acumen shone as she positioned her archers along the ridge lines, providing a commanding view of the battlefield below. This decision proved crucial as the battle unfolded, disrupting Taira formations and sowing confusion in their ranks. As the conflict intensified, Tomoe led a cavalry charge against the Taira flank, her distinctive armor and battle standard serving as a rallying point for the Minamoto forces. The tide of battle ebbed and flowed throughout the day, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. When a group of Taira soldiers breached the Minamoto lines, threatening to split their forces, Tomoe rallied a counterattack. She plunged into the thick of the fighting, her actions inspiring those around her to redouble their efforts. As dusk approached, the outcome hung in the balance. Tomoe's archers, having conserved their strength and ammunition, unleashed a devastating barrage upon the exhausted Taira forces. This final assault broke the enemy's will to fight, sending them into a disorganized retreat. The Battle of Yokotagawara ended in a decisive victory for the Minamoto clan, with Tomoe Gozen's contributions playing a significant role. In the aftermath, perceptions of Tomoe shifted. She was no longer viewed as an anomaly, but as a formidable commander and fearsome fighter in her own right. Tomoe Gozen's exceptional martial prowess set her apart from even the most seasoned warriors of her time. Her abilities stood out as truly extraordinary, surpassing many of her male counterparts in strength and skill. Contemporary accounts describe her proficiency with various weapons, particularly the sword and bow, as legendary. Tomoe's swordsmanship was renowned for its refined precision and speed. One eyewitness report recounts her dispatching multiple opponents in quick succession during a skirmish, her katana moving with such fluidity that it appeared as a blur to onlookers. Equally impressive was Tomoe's skill with the bow. Her accuracy and power in mounted archery were unparalleled. Historical records mention an incident where she loosed arrows with deadly precision while galloping at full speed, striking down several enemy soldiers in rapid succession. This combination of mounted archery and close-quarters swordsmanship made Tomoe a versatile and formidable opponent on the battlefield. Tomoe's physical strength and agility in combat were subjects of great admiration. She could wield heavy weapons with ease, outmaneuvering larger opponents through a combination of speed, technique, and raw power. Her agility allowed her to move swiftly across the battlefield, adapting to changing situations and exploiting weaknesses in enemy formations. The techniques and strategies Tomoe employed likely blended traditional samurai tactics with her own innovations. Given her unique position as a female warrior, she may have developed fighting styles that capitalized on her strengths and mitigated potential disadvantages. For instance, she might have emphasized speed and precision over brute force, using her opponent's expectations against them. Compared to other renowned warriors of the Genpei War, Tomoe's versatility set her apart. While many samurai excelled in specific weapons or tactics, Tomoe seamlessly transitioned between mounted combat and ground fighting, archery and swordsmanship, adapting her approach to best suit the situation at hand. Tomoe's martial prowess challenged gender norms in warfare in unprecedented ways. Her presence on the battlefield and her ability to surpass male warriors in combat skills forced a reevaluation of traditional gender roles in military contexts. Her mastery of multiple weapons, physical strength, tactical acumen, and adaptability all contributed to her legendary status. Tomoe's unparalleled martial skills were likely the product of intense training, dedication, and unique circumstances that allowed her to develop her abilities to their fullest potential. In a society where women were generally expected to remain in domestic roles, Tomoe's accomplishments were even more remarkable. Her success on the battlefield demonstrated that skill, strategy, and determination could transcend societal expectations and gender barriers, solidifying her place as one of the most exceptional warriors in Japanese history. The Battle of Owazu in 1184 marked a turning point in the Genpei War and set the stage for Tomoe Gozen's most legendary feats. As the conflict between the Minamoto and Taira clans reached its zenith, Minamoto no Yoshinaka faced a formidable alliance between his cousin, Minamoto no Yoritomo, and the Taira clan. The battle's outcome would determine control over the imperial court and Japan itself. On the challenging terrain of Owazu, Yoshinaka's outnumbered army took defensive positions on high ground, Tomoe Gozen, a key commander, organized hit-and-run attacks using mounted warriors to harass enemy flanks and buy time for the main force. As the Allied forces pushed up the slopes, Tomoe's personal combat skills came to the fore. The Tale of the Heike describes a pivotal moment when Tomoe led a small contingent in a daring counterattack. Tension mounted as word spread of a fearsome female warrior engaging the enemy. In a display of extraordinary skill, Tomoe reportedly singled out Uchida Yayoshi, a renowned Taira warrior. She grappled with him, unseated him from his horse, and took his head as a trophy. This feat, witnessed by both sides, cemented Tomoe's reputation as a warrior of unparalleled ability. Different historical narratives offer varying accounts of Tomoe's actions. While the Tale of the Heike paints a heroic picture, the Azuma Kagami provides a more restrained description. However, sources consistently emphasize Tomoe's impact on morale, inspiring allies and intimidating enemies. As Yoshinaka's army found itself surrounded, Tomoe's efforts couldn't overcome the numerical disadvantage. Yoshinaka, facing defeat, reportedly ordered Tomoe to flee, stating it would be shameful for him to die alongside a woman. This account, debated by historians, reflects the complex gender dynamics of the time. Tomoe survived the battle, while Yoshinaka met his end at Awazu. Despite discrepancies in historical accounts, Tomoe Gozen's legendary performance at this crucial battle solidified her place in samurai lore. The relationship between Tomoe Gozen and Minamoto no Yoshinaka was a complex interweaving of loyalty, duty, and strategic partnership, set against the backdrop of 12th century Japan's tumultuous political landscape. Their bond transcended the typical master-servant dynamic, challenging contemporary understanding of gender roles and power structures in feudal Japanese society. Tomoe's position as both a formidable warrior and Yoshinaka's concubine created a unique dynamic that defied conventional societal norms, elevating her to a position of military significance rarely afforded to women in that era. The political implications of their relationship were far-reaching, strengthening Yoshinaka's position within the Minamoto clan and serving as a symbol of his power and influence. Their collaboration significantly influenced military strategy and decision-making, with Tomoe's role as a trusted advisor and capable commander allowing Yoshinaka to leverage her unique perspective and skills in battle planning. This synergy between leader and subordinate created a formidable force on the battlefield, setting them apart from their contemporaries. Historical accounts consistently emphasize Tomoe's unwavering loyalty to Yoshinaka, manifesting as a deep-seated commitment to his cause and well-being. The Tale of the Heike recounts numerous instances where Tomoe's actions demonstrated her absolute fidelity, even in the face of extreme danger or personal cost. Her willingness to risk her life in battle, to stand by Yoshinaka's side when others fled, speaks volumes about the depth of her loyalty and the emotional investment in their relationship. When compared to other notable warrior partnerships in Japanese history, the bond between Tomoe and Yoshinaka stands out for its uniqueness. The combination of a female warrior of Tomoe's caliber and a male general was unprecedented, challenging the traditional narrative of samurai loyalty and introducing a gendered dimension that adds complexity to our understanding of feudal Japanese military culture. Tomoe's exceptional martial prowess, coupled with her role as Yoshinaka's consort, blurred the lines between personal and professional relationships. This dual role as warrior and confidant likely contributed to the development of innovative strategies that gave them an edge in battle. Her intimate knowledge of Yoshinaka's tactics and objectives, combined with her own combat skills, created a partnership that was both politically advantageous and militarily effective. However, Tomoe's fierce loyalty to Yoshinaka ultimately led to a profound dilemma that would determine her fate. As the Battle of Owazu reached its climax and Yoshinaka's forces faced imminent defeat, he reportedly ordered Tomoe to flee the battlefield. This command placed Tomoe in an impossible position, torn between her duty to obey her lord and her desire to stand by his side until the end. The decision she faced in that moment would not only shape her immediate future, but also define her legacy for centuries to come, illustrating the profound impact their relationship had on her destiny and raising intriguing questions about the price she paid for her unwavering loyalty. As the Battle of Owazu reached its climax, Tomoe Gozen's exceptional skills as a warrior and tactician were put to their ultimate test. Minamoto no Yoshinaka's forces faced overwhelming odds against the combined might of Minamoto no Yoritomo and the Taira clan. Vastly outnumbered and surrounded, Yoshinaka's army fought with grim determination. Recognizing the futility of direct confrontation, Tomoe had initially employed guerrilla tactics. She orchestrated hit-and-run attacks, striking vulnerable points in enemy lines before melting away into the chaos of battle. While unable to turn the tide, these maneuvers prolonged the engagement and inflicted significant casualties on their opponents. As the battle progressed, Tomoe's personal combat prowess came to the fore. The Tale of the Heiki recounts a notable incident where Tomoe engaged in single combat with Uchida Iyoshi, a renowned Taira warrior. In a display of strength that defied expectations, Tomoe unseated Iyoshi from his horse and claimed his head as a trophy. This feat, whether embellished or not, exemplifies Tomoe's extraordinary abilities and their impact on both allies and enemies. The accounts of Tomoe's actions have been subject to scrutiny among historians. While the Tale of the Heiki provides vivid descriptions, other sources like the Azuma Kagami offer a more restrained portrayal, highlighting the challenges in separating historical fact from literary embellishment. As Yoshinaka's forces crumbled, the final moments of Tomoe's involvement become shrouded in conflicting narratives. Some accounts suggest that Yoshinaka ordered Tomoe to flee, stating it would be shameful for him to die alongside a woman. This command, if true, placed Tomoe in an agonizing position, torn between her duty as a warrior and her loyalty to her lord. Tomoe's fate following the battle remains contested. Some narratives claim she obeyed Yoshinaka's order and escaped, while others suggest she fought to the end. A dramatic account describes Tomoe taking an enemy general's head before riding her horse into the sea, choosing death over capture or dishonor. The lack of definitive evidence has allowed Tomoe's legend to evolve. Her story has been retold and reinterpreted, often reflecting the values of the era in which the tales were recounted. This malleability has contributed to Tomoe's enduring appeal as a symbol of loyalty, martial prowess, and the complex role of women in samurai culture. Examining the available evidence, the most plausible account suggests that Tomoe survived the Battle of Owazu. This is supported by later historical references to her activities, albeit sparse and often contradictory. Some sources indicate she may have become a nun, while others suggest she remarried and lived out her days in relative obscurity. The uncertainty surrounding her later life has only enhanced the mystique of her character, allowing for continued speculation and romanticization of her story. The mists of history often obscure the fates of even the most remarkable figures, and Tomoe Gozen's disappearance from historical records is as intriguing as her legendary exploits. After the chaos of the Battle of Owazu, the trail of this fearsome warrior grows cold, leaving historians and enthusiasts alike to ponder her ultimate destiny. The ambiguity surrounding Tomoe's fate has given rise to a multitude of theories, each attempting to provide closure to the story of this extraordinary woman. The prevailing theories regarding Tomoe's fate fall into two main categories: spiritual transformation and continued martial pursuits. Some suggest that Tomoe, following the death of her lord Minamoto no Yoshinaka, chose to renounce her warrior lifestyle and become a Buddhist nun. This narrative aligns with a common practice in medieval Japan, where individuals who had experienced great loss often turned to religious life. Conversely, others propose that Tomoe continued her martial career under a different name or guise, possibly serving new patrons or causes in the tumultuous aftermath of the Genpei War. Legends and folklore offer more fanciful accounts of Tomoe's fate, speaking of her establishing hidden communities of female warriors or traveling to distant lands. While these stories are likely more myth than reality, they speak to the enduring fascination with Tomoe's character and the human desire to provide legendary figures with equally legendary endings. The disappearance of Tomoe Gozen from historical records is not without precedent. Throughout history, many notable figures have vanished from the annals of time, their fates becoming subjects of speculation and debate. In Japan alone, the final days of other legendary warriors like Minamoto no Yoshitsune and Kusunoki Masaeshige are shrouded in mystery. This phenomenon extends beyond Japan, with figures such as England's King Arthur or Genghis Khan similarly capturing the imagination of historians and the public alike. The very ambiguity of Tomoe's fate has arguably contributed significantly to her mythical status. Her story remains open-ended, allowing for continuous reinterpretation and embellishment. This uncertainty has permitted Tomoe's legend to evolve and adapt over the centuries, keeping her memory alive in a way that a more mundane or well-documented ending might not have achieved. The gaps in her story have been filled by the collective imagination of generations, transforming Tomoe from a historical figure into a cultural icon. When assessing the most likely scenario for Tomoe's life after the Battle of Awazu, historians must navigate between the realms of documented fact and plausible speculation. The scarcity of reliable sources from the late 12th and early 13th centuries makes it challenging to draw firm conclusions. However, based on the available evidence and the societal norms of the time, it seems probable that Tomoe did indeed survive the battle. Her subsequent actions, whether becoming a nun, continuing as a warrior, or living in obscurity, remain open to interpretation, her legacy echoing through time like a fading battle cry on an ancient field. The transformation of Tomoe Gozen from a historical figure to a cultural icon spans centuries of Japanese literature, art, and societal shifts. The earliest historical accounts of Tomoe Gozen, traced to the late 12th and early 13th centuries in military chronicles and court records, provide a foundation for understanding her role as a female warrior, serving Minamoto no Yoshinaka during the Genpei War. However, as time progressed, the narrative surrounding Tomoe Gozen evolved, taking on more legendary qualities. The Tale of the Heike, a 14th century epic account of the Genpei War, marks a significant point in this transformation. While based on historical events, the tale incorporates elements of folklore and literary embellishment, elevating Tomoe's status from a remarkable warrior to a near-mythical figure. The Tale of the Heike describes Tomoe as especially beautiful, with white skin, long hair, and charming features, while also emphasizing her martial prowess, stating she was a match for 1,000 warriors and fit to meet either god or devil. Medieval Japanese literature and art played a crucial role in shaping Tomoe's image. No plays, such as Tomoe, written in the 14th or 15th century, further romanticized her character, emphasizing her loyalty, bravery, and tragic fate. These artistic interpretations often grappled with the tension between Tomoe's exceptional abilities and the societal expectations for women in feudal Japan. The portrayal of Tomoe Gozen in literature and art served as a means to both challenge and reinforce gender norms over time. Her story became a vehicle for exploring the complexities of female roles in a male-dominated society. Some interpretations emphasized her feminine qualities alongside her martial skills, creating a multifaceted character that defied simple categorization. The Edo period, 1603 to 1867, saw a revival of interest in Tomoe Gozen's legend. This era, known for its relative peace and cultural flourishing, provided fertile ground for the reinterpretation of historical figures. Tomoe's story was adapted into various forms of popular entertainment, including kabuki plays and woodblock prints, often emphasizing the more sensational aspects of her legend. Modern interpretations of Tomoe Gozen continue to expand her legend. Contemporary novels, films, and video games reimagine her life with elements of fantasy and alternate history. These adaptations exemplify how Tomoe's legend remains relevant in current Japanese popular culture, serving as a symbol of female empowerment and historical pride. The evolution of Tomoe's legend reflects changing attitudes towards women in Japanese society. Her image, adorning everything from local tourist attractions to modern merchandise, continues to captivate audiences and scholars alike, providing a lens through which to view the complex interplay between history, myth, and cultural identity. The story of Tomoe Gozen has profoundly challenged our understanding of women's roles in feudal Japan, compelling historians to reassess long-held assumptions about gender dynamics in samurai society. Tomoe's extraordinary career as a warrior and military leader has forced a reconsideration of the simplistic narrative that women were confined to domestic spheres and excluded from military affairs. Tomoe's legend raises intriguing questions about the extent of women's participation in warfare and politics during the late Heian and early Kamakura periods. Her example suggests that there may have been more flexibility in gender roles than previously thought. Historians have begun to investigate whether Tomoe represents a broader, underreported phenomenon of female warriors in Japanese history. The reassessment of women's roles in light of Tomoe's story has led to a more nuanced understanding of onna-bugeisha, or female martial artists, in samurai culture. While these women were primarily trained for home defense, Tomoe's active participation in major battles indicates that some women engaged in offensive warfare. This has prompted historians to search for other examples of women who may have played similar roles. Feminist interpretations of Japanese history have seized upon Tomoe's story as evidence of women's potential for leadership and martial prowess in a male-dominated society. These scholars argue that Tomoe's achievements demonstrate that gender barriers in feudal Japan were more permeable than previously believed. They suggest that women's contributions to warfare and politics may have been systematically downplayed or erased in later historical accounts. In modern Japan, Tomoe's legend has become a powerful symbol of female empowerment. Her story is invoked to inspire women to challenge societal expectations and pursue non-traditional careers. Educational programs and cultural initiatives have used Tomoe's example to encourage girls to develop leadership skills and aspire to positions of authority. The reception of Tomoe's legend in Japan differs somewhat from its interpretation abroad. In Japan, there is a tendency to focus on Tomoe's exceptional nature, viewing her as a unique figure who transcended the limitations of her time. Internationally, Tomoe is often grouped with other female warriors from various cultures as part of a global narrative of women breaking gender barriers in military contexts. Ongoing debates about the historical accuracy of Tomoe's achievements reflect broader discussions about the reliability of medieval Japanese sources. Some historians argue that the descriptions of Tomoe's martial prowess may be exaggerated or symbolic, while others contend that the consistency of her portrayal across multiple sources suggests a basis in historical fact. The enduring significance of Tomoe Gozen in shaping perceptions of women in Japanese history lies in how it has prompted a re-evaluation of broader historical narratives. Her legend has encouraged historians to look more closely at the roles women played in samurai society, leading to the discovery of other examples of female leadership and martial skill that had previously been overlooked or dismissed. Tomoe Gozen's legacy transcends historical fact, embodying the complexities of medieval biographies and challenging our understanding of gender roles in feudal Japan. Her enduring fascination demonstrates the power of historical narratives to shape cultural understanding. The ambiguity surrounding her fate has enhanced her mythical status, allowing her story to be reinterpreted across centuries. As we examine Tomoe Gozen's life, we confront the limitations of historical sources and the evolving nature of cultural memory. How reliable are our interpretations of medieval Japanese sources? Her story invites us to critically examine our assumptions about gender, power, and historical narratives, leaving us with an image of a warrior transcending societal expectations.